I'm working in power, I'm working miracles, I live a life of favor. I know who I am, take a look at me, I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter, hello, see his glory. Cause I know who I am, take a look at me, I'm a wonder. Hi, good to have you, Fifi and Fiku. Welcome. Whoa, I know who I am. Whoa, I know who I am. Whoa, I know who I am. Every day. Whoa, I know who I am. Hello, super kids. Good afternoon and happy new year. This is our very first book review in the year 2022. So happy new year is in order. I am so excited to be here today to review this amazing book. Thank you for being here. I see Fifi and Fiku. Hi, thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. So today we are going to be reviewing this amazing book, The Law of Expectations, from the Dear Child Universal Law series. It's a very small book. It's an e-book, but I had this printed out for easy read. Before we go on, if you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Ogo Bueli. I am an inspirational reading coach, and I am the convener of the Super Kid Academy platform. So, Super Kid Academy is a personal development, a spiritual development book club for children between the ages of 6 and 13. We read a book, an inspirational book, a week. We review in the platform, and then we come on here on Facebook Live every Sunday to have the general review. So we've had some books, we've read some books this year, but this is our very first review. The first 2 weeks we read the book on goal setting. We learned how to set goals for academic excellence, especially for children that are going back to school. It's so important that you set academic goals for every term so that you can have a focus, an idea of where you're going and what you want to accomplish and how you can plan your time effectively for it. But this week we are reading The Law of Expectation. I love this series, the Universal Law series, because it teaches children about universal laws. You know what universal laws are? They are like principles, and they work whether you know it or not. They are working every time. So it's important that you learn these laws, these principles, so that you can put them into practice. Principles, they are like something like gravity. You know what gravity is? Like when you jump up, that thing, that force that pulls you down to the earth, that is called gravity. Or if you decide to jump from, the staircase, that thing that makes you fall is called gravity. It's a law. And whether you know it or not, it's working. But when you know that this law is working, then it's easier for you to channel it to work to your own advantage. So these universal laws, they are principles. They are working. And once you know them, it's easier for you to channel them to begin to work for you in the right way and not the wrong way. So the title quote on the cover of this book says, "Whatever you expect with confidence becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy." Whatever you expect with confidence becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. In simple terms, it means whatever you expect, you believe that this is going to happen. I want this, I want this. You expect it wholeheartedly. It happens for you. It comes to pass. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're just going to read through the book because it's a very small book. So we'll just read through it and then we'll share a few thoughts about it. And if you have any questions, any contributions, please type them in on the comment section and we'll get to it. Another quote here by Stephen R. Covey says, "Treat a man as he is, and he will remain as he is. Treat a man as he can and should be, and he will become as he can and should be." In the course of this review, we're going to explain what this means, so that you can understand it properly. So the book says, when you confidently expect good things to happen to you, good things usually happen. But if you expect negative things to happen, you are usually not disappointed. You are always acting as the prophet of your own life, a fortune teller in your own life, by the way you think and talk about how situations are going to turn out. Your expectations have an effect on the people around you as well. It doesn't just have an effect on you, it also has an effect on the people around you and the situations and the people around you. So let me go back to this quote. It says, treat a man as he should. When you treat somebody as that person should, for instance, you treat someone with love, you treat someone with respect, that person will have a way of living up to that. If you respectfully treat someone like a human being, you respect the person, you talk to them nicely, the person automatically begins to rise up to that, expectation of you. But when you talk down on people, you speak to them like they don't mean anything, they are nothing, you find a way to crush their self-esteem. They begin to act like you treat them. Let's use an example. If your mom and dad, I know that the moms and dads that we have in our platform, they don't treat their children or talk their children that way. It's like that. But there are some moms and dads that speak to their children with so much disrespect. They just treat them as if they are nothing. They are these little humans that don't have emotions. They can't think. They don't know anything. Get out, idiots, and all those things. If you're such a child, you will know that when you're around, those people, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel confident, you feel like you're an idiot because that's the way they treat you. But if you're around people that treat you like you're somebody, they actually listen to you and consider your opinions, and when you're speaking, they listen and then they respond and they value what you say. It builds up your self-confidence, and when you're around them, you are confident, you act more confidently. So that's what this quote is about. Treat people the way that they should be, and they will remain that way. But when you treat them the other way around, you find a way to drag them down to that level that you've placed them. So your expectations, it doesn't just affect you, it also affects people and situations around you. So let me give an example. If you're a kind of person that always believes that math is so difficult, this subject is so difficult, let's say it's mathematics or English or one subject is so difficult, I will never pass this test, I'll never pass this thing, it's so difficult. Do you know what happens? Because you expect that, you believe that with all your heart, when you're reading that subject, you will not understand it. You will not pay attention, you will not understand it. And when you get to the exam, you're definitely going to fail. And then you come out and say, I said it. I told you. I told you. But you are the one that is affecting your own self negatively. But if you confidently declare, mathematics is an easy subject and I will pass this subject. I have what it takes to pass this subject. I can do it. If these other people in my class, they are doing it, I too can do it, and I can even do better. And then when you're in class, you're focused. The confession, the affirmation, it energizes you to read more. You're focused, you're understanding better, you're asking better questions. And when you get to the exam hall, you just realize, I thought this was difficult. This is the easiest subject ever. Your expectations will now begin to work for you in a good way. Now, there's an example that they gave here. If you expect to have respectful relationships with friends, you treat them with an attitude of love and respect, they will in turn treat you the same way. Did you know that the way you treat people also determines the way they treat you back? If you speak to people nicely, the tendency of them speaking nicely back to you is there. If you smile at people, they will most probably smile back at you. But if you just talk to people anyhow, whenever they see you, they are not cheerful, they don't want to talk to you. The same way you treat people is the same way they treat you back. Now, a study was conducted over the years to test the power of the expectation of teachers on students, on the students' performance. It was discovered that cases where teachers were told that a student or sometimes a whole class was extremely bright and was predicted to make a quantum leap in academic performance in the coming year, even though the students were chosen from random population. As long as the teacher believed that these students were exceptional and the teachers expected them to do well, the students performed well. Imagine that. And a teacher comes into the class, a new teacher comes in, and then they tell this teacher, this is A class, these are the brightest students in the school. If the teacher comes in with that expectation, these are the brightest students, she teaches, believing that these children are bright and they're going to do well. It has a way of affecting their performance, even though they are average students. That's what this thing is saying. So it works in every way, even parents. What do you expect of your children? If you're a super mom or super dad, super parent watching here, what do you expect of your children? Sometimes when they are small, sometimes children can, act in ways, they are children. It's not okay to just carry on with that expectation. Okay, when this child is 5 years old and this child is always touching things, pushing things down, destroying things somehow, and then you just conclude this is a destructive child. Everything you touch, you just spoil. You keep saying it and you keep believing it. If you do that, you're going to project that thought, that prophecy over that child, and that's what you're going to keep seeing, and the child is going to keep doing that, and you wouldn't know that you are the one causing it at this point, because this is what you believe about this child. But if you have a successful expectation, a great expectation for that child, you are able to look past what the child is doing at this age. You're able to look past it and see this is a great child. This is a very creative child, and everything. This child is going to gradually begin to come out of that and become that image that you have, that expectation that you have of him or her. Expect the best of yourself. If you're a super kid here, just say to yourself, I expect the best of myself. I expect the best in my academics. I expect the best in my relationships with my peers at school, my relationship with my brothers and sisters. I expect the best. I expect good things to happen to me. I don't expect bad things to happen to me. I don't expect to be sick. I don't expect accidents. I don't expect all those evil things. I expect the best of myself. Imagine that you have unlimited potential and that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. That's the imagination you should have. Imagine that your future is limited only by your own imagination. Imagine that your greatest moments lie ahead and that everything has happened to you up to now. That everything has happened to you up to now is merely a preparation for the great things that are yet to come. Then the last scripture, the quote that we have here, it says, "For surely there is a future hope, and your expectation shall not be cut short." Now, this is what God says. We are ending the book with this quote. There is a future hope. Those things that you expect. Use your imagination. You know, your imagination is actually real. Just use your imagination to go to places that you've never been to before. Places that you desire to be to. It's said that anywhere that you cannot get in your imagination, you will never be able to get to that place physically. If you can't get to that place in your mind, you can't get to that place. So think about 5 years from now, what do I want to be doing with my life? 10 years from now, 20 years, what do I want to be? How do I want to contribute to this world? What course do I want to study? How do I want my life to be? What kind of relationships do I want? Just imagine these things. You're not too young to imagine great things. Imagine yourself in the most beautiful places. If you've never been to Disney World and you've been watching Disney on TV, imagine yourself in Disney World. Imagine yourself there. Dreaming, imagination is free. It's called Image Nation. Image Nation. Create those pictures in your mind. Don't dwell on the negative pictures. If something bad happens and someone scolds you or something happens, don't dwell on those images. Don't keep thinking about those bad things. Remove your mind from there and begin to think about the good things that you want, because your life flows in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. It means that your life is going towards the direction of the thoughts that you constantly think. You know, I always give this example about the hoverboard. If you've been to maybe the malls in Lagos, they usually have, you know, this section where they have animal rides, and then they have hoverboards. These hoverboards, like these boards with wheels under, these electronic boards with wheels. You climb on them and it moves you around the mall. Now, if you've never ridden that hoverboard, maybe the next time you go to the mall, you tell your mom or your dad, even if you're an adult, you can actually take a ride on the hoverboard. Now, see the way this hoverboard works. It actually works with your mind. You step on the board and you begin to think, move forward. And as you're thinking the direction that you want to move, that is where the board is moving you to. So if you want to turn to the right, you don't have to turn your body to the right. You just think in your mind right. Just think right, and the board will move right. If you want to spin 360, you just think spin. It's amazing, because I've been on that board, and it will just follow the direction of your mind. That is how our life moves. It moves in the direction of our most dominant thoughts. Those things that you constantly think about. If you're thinking about your dreams, your goals, your vision all the time, you see yourself getting up every day and working towards it. If you're thinking about the bad things that have happened to you, your failed relationships, the depressing thoughts, that depressing words that people spoke to you, you will remain. You'll be keeping yourself, dragging yourself deep down into the depths of that of those words. So, going back to the title quotes here, it says, whatever you expect with confidence becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy. So this with this, we'll come to the end of today's review. I don't know if you've learned something new today. If you have, you can just say something at the comment section. Just type in or say, put a like or whatever favorite emoji that you have. This is the end of our review. We are going to be back again next week Sunday to review another amazing book from this Universal Law series. If you want to be part of our Super Kid Academy, you can send me a message privately so that we can give you more information on how you can be part of our community. We are raising self-aware, personally developed, spiritually developed individuals that will transform this nation. You want to transform a nation, it begins with the transformation of the young people in that community, and that is exactly what we are doing with this Super Kid Academy. So thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be here again next week Sunday, same time, 4 p.m. Before I go, I have a special announcement. This review is for the children, but we do have reviews for adults, and it's same Sunday but 8 p.m. on Zoom. Today we are reviewing Success Principles by Brian Tracy. I hope you can find time to join us on that review on Zoom today at 8 p.m. Thank you and have an amazing Sunday. Bye.